literally, it's the same questions every single day. Every day, man. Yeet. This is my baby right here. Not as much as the Tesla though. Nothing and nobody comes over the Tesla, man. How you dog moms be talking about that's your child? Like, my Tesla is my child. I'm gonna start calling my Tesla my son. All you plant moms and dog moms out there. Is that like a Bay Area thing? Like, or am I tripping? Like, is this going on like nationwide? Dog moms and plant moms and shit? Somebody let me know. We gotta, maybe I'll have to do a video on that and we could discuss that, you know. But enough, let's get to the video. What's good, y'all? It's Jay Viz coming at you with the very first vid, man. Today we're gonna go ahead and knock out all these questions I constantly get asked when it comes to driving my car for Uber. So we just gonna go ahead and get into all the frequently asked questions, and I'm about to give you all the answers so I no longer have to keep saying it over and over and over and over again. So let's get into them. People ask me what year it is. I don't know why it matters, but yes, 2019 Tesla Model 3. I get it, it's a newer car. It's a car that a lot of people haven't even yet to experience. So, you know, it's new. There's a lot of new things about, you know, EVs that, you know, a lot of people don't know about. Probably the number one question that kills me to answer, man, is, do you like it? What do you mean, do I like it? Like, this isn't a t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? Cars are, you know, it depends on your situation, but cars are an investment, right? Like, it's, you know, I don't know. I'm not out here buying 10 to 12 cars and shit, so I don't know what it's like to be, you know, that rich and whatnot, but I'm not, it's not a toy. It's not a toy, so, you know, I took it very serious when it came to purchasing my vehicle. I thought long and hard about it. I did a lot of research, probably for like literally 2 to 3 months straight. Every single day, I would research the car to know its ins and outs. I even wrote a pros and cons list of how could the car benefit me, along with how can the car harm me. Is it more beneficial, or is it gonna put me in a bad situation? But yes, I like my car. I like it. I bought it, I like it. It's fucking great. It's the best thing I've ever bought. How long does it take to charge? It's different at every single charging station, and what types of chargers you're using. I'm just gonna save myself the hassle, and I'm gonna only be speaking on the Tesla supercharging stations right now. When it comes to a Tesla supercharge station, they have 3 different powers right now. You have 72 kilowatt, which is gonna be the lowest one, which is still a lot. Or it's less harm onto the battery if you're not constantly changing or charging it to 100%. So I don't go below 20%, and I've noticed usually any time that I charge my car, if I use a 72 kilowatt, it's gonna be anywhere from like 40 minutes. I think 40 minutes has like been the most I've ever like had to wait while I was charging. Then you have the 150. You could probably knock that down probably to like 20, anywhere between like 20 to 30 minutes with those. And then the 250 kilowatts are the, man, those are the money makers right there. There's nothing more exciting than pulling up to a supercharge station and it's 250 kilowatts. Boy, I'm charging my thing within like 10 to 15 minutes. Elon, what are you doing out there? And they're working on something that's gonna be, I think it's like up to 1,000 kilowatts is what they're trying to get to. basically what Tesla's trying to get to is get to the point where, you know, we don't have these weirdos sitting here complaining about how long it takes to charge your car. And they're gonna try to make it more efficient with, you know, basically they're trying to get it to the point where it's gonna be almost like filling up gas. It's gonna take like three to 5 minutes. That's crazy. But yeah, so that's the charging question right there, is how long does it charge? You know, I keep it very general and I say less than an hour. If you're using a Tesla supercharge station, typically, you know, like I said, if you're keeping it from, you know, if you're charging from, you know, 20% to 80%, it's gonna be less than an hour. Like, I've never seen, even with all the chargers being used at the same time, it's been less than an hour. So that's not that bad, man. Like, people want to talk about, you know, brings me to the next question. People want to talk about like bringing it on road trips. One, I don't really care because I'm not over here being Mr. Adventure driving across the United States. But you know, maybe it would be an inconvenience to you. I feel like if I ever did want to take my car on a road trip, I know that I'm driving an EV, and I know that that's gonna tag an hour or two onto, you know, my trip, my route and stuff. Like, who cares, man? Like, half the time y'all aren't doing anything important anyway. So if you think about it, when you go on a road trip and stuff, like, people stop to take a break or eat and all that stuff. So this how smart Tesla is, man. They got their charge stations in a convenient area, such as like a shopping center, places that you could, it's usually always a place that you could go and eat or grab food or find some way to entertain yourself. I think they have a partnership, I could be wrong, don't quote me. I think they have a partnership with like Target or stuff. So like half the time you go to Target, there's usually charge stations around there. It's very common that charge stations are in Target. Half the time that I've ever been at a charge station, there's always been something for me to do, whether if it's eating or, you know, walking around and entertain myself and kill the time, man. If you want to cry about it, boo-hoo. Don't get an EV if you plan on driving across the United States like you're Forrest Gump or something. People love asking me, this is something I would never think about doing, especially with driving Uber, having people constantly in and out of your car. But I had to do it, man. Like, how many times do you get the chance of having white interior in your car, man? That's baller. Yeah, man, I went and purchased the upgrade on the white leather. It's actually not leather, it's vegan leather. It's what I think they call it. It doesn't matter what color your seats are, man. The thought and worry of people dirtying your seats is always going to be there. It doesn't matter. I mean, obviously it doesn't help me anymore that I have white seats, but at the end of the day, like, people always ask me, aren't you worried about your seats? I don't care. Even with black, yeah, I have black leather. I'm gonna be worried about the seats, man, because y'all are dirty, reckless. With the white interior, it's actually the most stain resistant interior that they have. They got YouTubers out there. I'm not gonna be one of them, but they got YouTubers out there, you know what I'm saying, pouring ink, red wine on their seats. And it's actually really impressive, man. Like, you really can like just wipe it straight up. And obviously you don't want anything to like sit there and soak in it and just sit. That's the plus side of also having white interiors. Like, if there is dirt or something on it, it's very easy to spot, so you can just get to it right away. So it's not just sitting there over time and, you know, soaking into the material. If you want it, you can also go the extra route. If you really feel the need to protect your interior, you could get ceramic coating, and that itself is going to even protect it even more than it already is now. I haven't ceramic coated my seats, but I think I will here in the near future. People are going to be sitting on the seat, so it's going to get dirty regardless. It's very easy to clean. I have cleaning materials. You know, maybe I'll put it in the description of the stuff I use to clean my seats. It works very well. Use microfiber rags. Boom, gets it out of there, no problem. Oh, also, going back on the charge, how many miles can you go on a charge? This kind of also goes back into like the road trip situation. I'm gonna be speaking about my vehicle specifically because there's other things that account to the different models and the different ranges and the different upgrades and blah, blah, blah. I have the long range battery and I do not have the dual motor, so I don't have all-wheel drive. I live in California. I don't see the purpose of having all-wheel drive for me right now. But if you get the rear wheel drive, that actually, one, saves you a little bit of money. Two, it also allows the range to be extended, I think maybe like 15 miles more. So I think they show online, well at the time, because I think the long range is different now, I think it's up to like 350, but at the time I think it was 315, but mine actually goes up to about 330. So I get 330 miles on a charge, and I find that plenty for me, in just even for the everyday driver. If I'm an Uber driver and I could get through 330 miles charge, the everyday driver should find that to be plenty. But hey, do what you do, you know what I mean? Do you own your car? Or do you rent it through Uber? Man, this one be having my head spin too. Like, I know Uber does like different, they have different types of services where you could rent a vehicle from Avis or Hertz, but you gotta, like, at the same time, guys, like, let's be logical, man, and like, let's just even take the time to think about this. Like, do you really think that Uber is gonna be buying Teslas for people to rent to drive Uber? It's just common sense. No, Uber is not allowing me to rent the vehicle through them, and like, that would just be if, hey man, if Uber's out here giving out Teslas, boy, y'all better get this money, you know what I mean? Shit, I'm gonna be opposed to it, and I wish that Uber bought my car, but no, like, I purchased the vehicle myself. It's under my name. I bought the car. I can't lease it either, so that doesn't make sense, because if you ever lease a car, typically you're gonna have some sort of leasing contract where you're only able to drive a certain amount of miles per year during that lease. I drive so damn much, I would blow those miles out and I would be screwed. So I own the car. Big concern when it comes to driving Uber is always gonna be maintenance. Luckily enough, man, these cars require little to no maintenance at all, man. It's great, I love it. These are things that I was in my research that I was coming across, that, you know, this actually is allowing me to save money, surprisingly enough. You know, not getting my car serviced, constant oil changes, the things that you deal with a regular combustible engine car, let alone when you're driving it as hard as you do when it comes to driving Uber. I think I've had 2 to 3 services. The 2 of them were literally just unluckiness of the fact that I had like a nail in my tire and stuff, so I've had to replace the tires a few times. But that's something that you just cannot avoid. There's a lot of construction that happens in San Francisco, so, you know, those things happen, man. But as far as any complications with the car itself, I had one sensor that had went out in my seat, so it was just giving me a faulty safety notification on my car. Literally brought it in, they fixed it within like a day or 2 or something like that, and it was seamless. So unfortunately, it's never a great time when you have to take your car into service, but I've had great experiences anytime that I've had to do so. And honestly, it's only been those, you know, 2 to 3 times, and the other ones dealt with tire swaps. So, you know, one pedal driving, the regenerative braking system allows you to save on even not having to change out your brake pads, because you're hardly ever using them. If you have to come to a sudden stop or something immediate, yeah, you use your brake. But half the time, man, I do not touch the brake, and I love it. The experience of the car itself is like one of my favorite things ever, man. Like, just the driving experience you get is well worth it. Oh, hold on, man. This one is mind blowing. Actually, this just came to me. Is the roof? The roof is glass, right? You can literally see out of it. You know, if you're driving by, there's trees above you. You see the trees. It's made out of glass, and people will literally be like, "Oh, is this glass?" Like, are you just asking me just to ask? Like, I really get confused. Like, yes, it's glass. Like, how do you not see that? But man, I think that does it with the frequently asked questions, man. There's always going to be other questions and stuff, but those were the most commonly asked questions that I get all the time, that I just had to like figure out something to get these answers out there instead of like constantly repeating it, man. Look out for more content. You know, this is my first video, but I'm definitely be pushing out. I'm looking to at least push, you know, a video out, each week. Just want to stay consistent with it. I'm gonna be sharing a whole lot of new ideas with you guys. Even somebody that I'll be working with, you'll be meeting them very soon, I'm sure. We got some great things that we're gonna get going out there, man. So I'm looking forward to it. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. You already know. You know the YouTube lingo. You know what to do. Help the boy out. Let's get this money. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully you learned, more information about, Teslas. Yeah, and just holler at me. Peace.